No matter how much you're willing to spend on a new smartphone, almost everyone faces the same challenge: too many options. There are plenty of truly worthy models on the market today, but most people want not just a good option, but the best value, the very best smartphone for the money, one that will fully justify the investment. In this video, I'll share the best models in popular price ranges, and among them, you're sure to find one that makes you say, "This is it, the perfect one." Perhaps the most crowded segment of the smartphone market is the ultra-budget segment. These days, virtually every brand, from Xiaomi to Samsung, offers at least one device in the $100, $150 range. However, more often than not, buyers are forced to choose not between a good or excellent device, but between a weak or merely average one. Devices like the Redmi A5 and Moto G6 fall into the first category. Manufacturers have pared down their specifications to keep prices as low as possible. As a result, these are more phone-centric devices than fully fledged modern smartphones. Nevertheless, even in this segment, there are more interesting options. For example, a model with a Helio G99 processor and impressive 7-year software support looks attractive on paper. However, a mediocre screen and a battery that's not the most capacious compared to competitors are a downside. The Realme P3 Lite has also recently appeared, featuring a decent Unisoc T7250 chip and a 6000 mAh battery. However, the HD Plus display is a compromise that seems understandable given the price, but still feels like a downside. As Zoomers would say, the vibe isn't right. Fortunately, there's a truly balanced option that doesn't sacrifice key features. While the Poco M7 may have escaped the attention of many buyers, it's actually one of those top performers for the money that made Xiaomi so popular. By the way, what was your first Xiaomi smartphone, and how long did you use it? Share your thoughts in the comments. Firstly, it's practically the only entry-level phone with a full HD display. It also boasts a decent brightness of up to 850 nits and a refresh rate of 144 Hz. Secondly, it's equipped with a reliable Snapdragon 685 processor. While not the newest, it handles everyday tasks without a hitch. Watching YouTube, scrolling through TikTok or Instagram, everything runs smoothly. And if you don't crank up the graphics, games are also quite playable. Finally, the 7000 mAh battery easily lasts for about 2 days of battery life. The end result is a well-balanced, ultra-budget smartphone that fully justifies its price. However, the $200, $250 segment currently looks rather bleak, like a closet full of clothes from the 1990s. There's choice, but little to be excited about. Rising component prices are making it increasingly difficult for manufacturers to stay within budget and still build a truly successful smartphone. That's why devices like the Infinix Hot 60 Pro and Redmi Note 15 4G are popping up. On paper, everything looks great. AMOLED screens, decent cameras, but the performance is a bit of a letdown. Yes, they technically feature the latest MediaTek Helio G200 and MediaTek Helio G100 processors, but in reality, they're still the same MediaTek Helio G99 with a minimal overclock of the main core. There's also the Poco M7 Pro, but buying it in 2026 already seems questionable. At most, it'll get one Android update, and the chipset itself is no longer the latest. For a long time, the Samsung Galaxy A26 remained the most balanced choice in this range, thanks to its long support, decent cameras, and adequate performance. But recently, it has a truly strong competitor from Motorola. The Moto G86 is practically the benchmark for what a modern budget phone should be. It's a real hit for the money, you could say. For a relatively modest price, it offers a fast MediaTek Dimensity 7300, a bright POLED display with a refresh rate of 120 Hz, and a decent camera. While the main module isn't exactly a miracle worker, it reliably produces high-quality photos both day and night. Plus, it features memory card support, IP69 water resistance, Wi-Fi 6, NFC, and a 5200 mAh battery. The result is a smartphone that has everything a modern user needs, all while remaining affordable. If your smartphone budget is limited to $300, $350, the choice is still quite wide. Moreover, there are several devices in this range that can truly be called flagships in their class. For example, the recently unveiled Poco M8 Pro has effectively eclipsed the Redmi Note 15 series. The reason is clear. It's cheaper than the older Pro Plus version, but it's equipped with the same Snapdragon 7S Gen 4, a 6,500 mAh battery, and a decent camera. The Moto Edge 60 Neo could be an alternative in this segment. While it's inferior to the Poco in terms of performance, it's superior in photography. It's one of the few smartphones in its price range, with a high-quality main camera and a full-fledged 3x telephoto lens, a rarity in this class. However, all of these models share one problem. The latest budget and mid-range models have significantly increased in price compared to last year's devices. This leaves the Poco M8 Pro in a strange position. It's competing with the Poco X7 Pro, which costs roughly the same. The X7 Pro, however, is significantly more powerful and doesn't lose out on battery life or camera quality. To be honest, the company created internal competition by releasing a model that looks inferior to its own device. While the X7 Pro isn't exactly new, it's hardly outdated either, especially given its performance reserves. So, for me, the choice between the two is clear. The Moto Edge 60 Neo, however, currently has virtually no direct competitors that offer more for the same price. So, if you prioritize a camera over maximum performance in the $300, $350 range, this option is definitely worth considering. Essentially, the $400, $450 price range is very similar to the previous price segment. At this budget, the choice is quite wide. You can take a closer look at some truly interesting mid-range models. Among them, the so-called near flagships stand out, such as the Redmi Note 15 Pro Plus and the Samsung Galaxy A56. These devices are as close to the top-end models in design and feel as possible, but their specifications still fall slightly short of true flagships. Both the Redmi and Galaxy A56 offer water resistance, durable tempered glass, and a metal frame, all of which look solid and expensive. Just looking at the specs, it might seem like the Note 15 Pro Plus is the clear favorite. It has a more modern Snapdragon 7S Gen 4 processor and an impressive 200MP camera. Against this backdrop, the Galaxy A56, with its Exynos 1580 and 50 megapixel sensor, seems more modest. However, in practice, the performance difference between them is minimal, while Samsung emerges ahead in terms of image quality. It's all down to its processing algorithms. The Galaxy A56 offers a wider dynamic range and more accurate color rendition, resulting in more pleasing photos. Therefore, despite Xiaomi's efforts, the Galaxy A56 currently appears to be a more balanced choice. It will also receive longer updates. Samsung promises up to 6 years of support, while Redmi limits it to 4 years. However, the Galaxy A56 can't be called the undisputed leader in terms of price and features, given the OnePlus Nord 5. It lacks a metal and glass body, and support is also limited to approximately 4 years, but its more powerful hardware makes up for this. Firstly, it's equipped with a Snapdragon 8S Gen 3 processor, which is significantly more powerful than the Exynos 1580. Secondly, the Nord 5 has a 6,800 mAh battery and 80W fast charging. The camera is also impressive. The main Sony LYT-700 sensor shoots reliably both day and night. This is precisely why I wouldn't recommend the Poco F7. While it may offer better performance, its camera is noticeably inferior to its competitors for its price. The OnePlus Nord 5, on the other hand, strikes a fine balance between power and image quality. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. See you in new videos.